Alright guys, we're back with part 3 and we're going to look at texturing and giving materials to our structure here. Now the tree's already doing pretty good thanks to the treeat. Not that that's a great looking tree, but that's only the third one I've made in that app, I believe. So what we're going to do is be messing with Materialize. This is just a blank project right here. So you're right-clicking to rotate, and then middle mouse button to be able to pan it around. And this is some really handy software. It allows you to create pretty realistic materials very quickly and very easily. So what I did was I snatched up a couple pretty basic materials, some brick for the building, nice little door, wood for the balcony and any wood, and some concrete. So what we can do is on our diffuse channel, pop over here and hit the O. This is a little confusing, but the tabs are shortened to one letter. It's very strange, but you get used to it. So you hit the O, and then we're going to head over to that folder. There we are. And let's bring in our brick texture first. That's going to have the most impact on our building. So we'll hit select on that. And bam, it brings it right in. We're able to see it, how the lighting interacts with it. Not a lot of interaction just yet, but that's okay. We can generate our other maps. If you already have your own maps for your materials, you can just plug them in. Or obviously just put them straight into Unity, or Blender. Blender then Unity, I suppose. But we're going to generate all of ours using this program. So in the height map, we're going to hit create, and it's going to auto-generate a height map for us. And we can actually kind of adjust the slider to see the map versus the diffuse material. And with this, we're going to want to make it not so apparent. That way we don't have bricks just popping out and whatnot. There we go, and we can click over here to see our result. So, show final material. Oh, I missed a step, sorry guys. We have to actually set the height map to the material, so set as height map. Then it'll pop in there. You can see we have a little bit of height data variation right there, and you can go in and tweak it as you want. So we can increase that a little bit more. We don't want it to be too crazy. There you go, you can really see the light interacting with that now. These little steps here. Yeah, that might be a little overkill, but whatever. Alright, we're going to go over here, do the same step with the normal map. And it's going to auto-generate that for us. And for now, we'll just leave that as is and see how it goes. Hit set as normal map. And again, we can look, see how it's going. Not too bad. Also create a metallic map. Now, after we generate the maps, we'll actually be able to control the factors of a few things like the smoothness and metallic aspects within Unity. So it's not super important to get it spot on. Alright, there's our full material. Alright, generate a smoothness map. Bricks aren't very smooth. We don't have to worry about an edge map in this case. If there is something you can do with it in Unity, then feel free to let me know, because I'm not sure what to do with it. And of course, ambient occlusion. Oh, I hit open. Create. See if we can pull in a little bit of extra detail. Alright, and this is what we're looking at so far. Yeah, that looks very, very metally due to the, oh, that's part of the problem. Due to the metallic and smoothness map, but there we go. I thought that looked odd. Like I said, we can go back and adjust those settings within Unity. So this is really about getting our different channels, our different maps, so that we're able to plug them in, and then we're going to do the actual UV texturing within Blender, and then switch over to Unity to actually put it all together. Alright, so this is our full material. Like I said, don't worry about the metallic aspect, because we can adjust that. What we're going to do is select PNG right here in our file format. That way we're going to have the ability to affect transparency if we wanted to. So if, for example, you wanted to take all these and bring them into Photoshop or GIMP and maybe bust a hole and then have something behind, you'd be able to have that transparency. And then we're going to want to do this. This is a little bit weird, but you have this option that says Save Property Map. If you pop back into Unity, the way the new high definition render pipeline materials work, let's create a new material real quick. I just right clicked and go up to create material. Call it brick. There we go. You don't have all the map channels that you had before. So as you can see, there's no channel for ambient occlusion. Those are covered by the mask map. So right here, this is essentially one texture that is comprised of your metallic ambient occlusion, detail, and smoothness. So we're going to pack some of those textures with that function right here, the Save Property Map. So what we need to do is match those up. Line that up. Oh, where'd it go? Mask map. We got metallic in the red, ambient occlusion in the green, detail mask in the blue, and smoothness in the alpha. So some of those we can do natively in here, and some of them we can't. So the metallic was the red, right? Oh. Oh, okay. I see what's going on here. I already had this set up. Okay, yeah, so we plug our metallic into the red, ambient occlusion into the green. I was wondering, normally these would just say nothing. I'm like, oh, it's already set up for me. That's so nice. So we're going to hit Save Property Map. And we can just save those right into our project. Let's see, land test. We'll just call that brick map. And hit save. And then we're going to go ahead and save our project in the same place. And if we pop back into our project, it should auto load those in. And we have all our different channels here and our map. Now our map is still missing one of the channels. But anyway, we're just going to worry about what we got. It's should work out pretty well. So we're going to pop over here into Blender. We have our model that we made in the last video. I'm going to scooch these things out of the way so I got plenty of room to work. And this plugin that we used to build this actually makes the texturing a lot easier. So we can go over to Material Tools. I think we might have to be in edit mode. And then we can actually select walls and hit select here, and it's actually selected all our wall faces for us, which is really awesome. So what we can do is pop over into the shading tab and make sure this has a material assigned to it. So we're going to hit new. We'll just call it walls. And we have our little shading nodes here. Just right click, go to, oh sorry, not right click, Shift A, input, goodness gracious, texture, image texture. I'm going to select open and find our brick. Here we go. Brick diffuse. Select that. And now if we drag this right over into here, so it's the color into the base color. It's assigned the material, but it doesn't know what to do with it yet. So we're going to actually unwrap this, and because of the shape, I think it's going to work really well if we just hit U and go to Cube Projection. Yeah, looks like that is working pretty well. So we can pop over here into the UV Editing tab. And if you're not able to see your texture over here, just hold Z and then pop over to Material Preview. Alright, what we're going to do is just scale it up uniformly because it's nice and seamless, and we'll get it to a size we like. That looks pretty good. So we can hit P. Oh, sorry. For over here, we can hit P to pin those, and then jump back into layout. And if we just hold Z and hit rendered, we already have bricks on our building, and they're already looking pretty good. And that was pretty fast. So we're going to hit tab, and we're going to go do a couple more things. So we have, let's see here. Let's do our door real quick. Now if you're having trouble getting lined up with everything, just remember hitting the little period button on your number pad will line you up with your things, generally speaking. Alright, now we're going to assign a new texture to this. We're going to click plus up here, hit new, call it door. Pop up into the shading. Make sure we have our door texture or door material selected, and then hit assign on that. And then we'll just repeat the steps here. Oh, doing it again. There we go. Texture, input texture, open. Let's see here. Alright, old door selected. Drag it over onto it. Then we're going to have to do the same thing with the UV editing tab. We have our image over here. Just project from view on this one because it's a nice flat surface. And then we can just scale this up over here. About like that, and then scale it in on the x-axis just to have it match up a little better. And there we go. So that's actually covering the UV mapping and how to get your textures assigned. We're just going to repeat that with the rest of the objects until we get something that looks a little more fully textured. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll jump back in once we get this done. Alright guys, we jumped ahead a little bit. I just went ahead and repeated the process with the wood and then the stone as well, right in here. And I just assigned the windows a basic blue material for now because we can actually go in and just make them reflective in the high definition render pipeline. So what we're going to do is re-export this. Save it first in case it blows up. FBX. We're going to just overwrite our original building and hit export. Make sure you have selected objects tabbed right there. Alright, export. And we'll pop over into Unity. Give it a sec. There we go. As you can see, I went ahead and also in Materialize repeated that process with the other materials that I had assigned. looks like such a strange place for a building to be. I guess I didn't really think about that until I went to make it. Alright, anyway. Let's realign this a little bit. There we go. Now, as you can see, our brick is assigned, but some of our other materials aren't auto-assigned. So what we'll have to do is go in and create some new materials for these. So I'm just going to right-click, create, material, and we'll call this stone. And then we'll just repeat that for wood. And I think the other ones were assigned already. Yep. So let's look at our stone real quick. What we can do, select that material, and then just start assigning the different channels. So we have our stone diffuse right here. That's going to go into the base map, so just drag it in. Also, if you want to see it in real time, go ahead and just drag the material and lay it right there. Alright, under displacement mode, you can select pixel displacement, which will actually give you channels for the height map. Somewhere. Oh, here we go. Popped it in down here. Actually gives us channels for the height map, which is nice. So we can go in, add in our normal map, there's our height map. Okay. Add in our height map. And then we can also apply our mask map, which is going to be this right here. There we go. Now we're starting to get some of our detail in there. And if you see where I was talking about the smoothness, right in here, we have some reflectivity going on. So what we want to do is just go to our smoothest remapping, drag this in, just to make it rougher. That doesn't look too bad. We could stand to darken it up a little bit. There we go. That'll do for now. Now let's just repeat that process with our wood here. So we're going to drag that, drop it, and then with our wood selected, we just drag in our different channels. Oh, the wood I did not go back through and materialize. That's okay, we'll do that real fast. So I'm jumping back into Materialize, hitting clear all texture maps. Yes. Gonna open a new diffuse map. We want to use the same texture that we used for the UV mapping. It's this right here. Select. And just go through the same process. I don't want a bunch of height variation just because that's going to be a smoother material. So I'm just going to run through really fast and use the base settings. Alright, this is our full material on that. Not too bad, still looks a little rough due to the normal map, I'm guessing. So smooth. That'll do fine. So we'll save our property map. Make sure we're going to the right place. Call that wood map. And then we'll save everything else. Yep, same place. We'll just call it wood. Alright, back into Unity, and we got to give this a sec to import the textures in. Uh-oh. It sounds angry. No? We're doing okay. Yep. Alright. So, I'm going to start dragging our different channels where they should be. Mask map. Diffuse. Normal. I'm actually not going to bother with a height map on that just because I want it to be smooth anyway. And you can see how it's almost too smooth. We got that reflection aspect. What we can do again is just scale this back a little bit to where it looks more like some smooth wood. You know, we don't want it to look like a mirror. I'd say that's pretty good. Alright. We also have our door here, so we'll create a material for our door. And that I did already set up, so we can just start dropping things where they go. Obviously, it's not lined up perfect, but I mean, this is, you know, a demonstration. This isn't supposed to be a work of art. It's supposed to be a, hey, this is how you get this done. Let's see here. Door map. Normal map. Change our displacement mode to pixel displacement. That'll allow us to use our height map. Alright, there we go. That's a pretty good looking door. Alright, last but not least, let's look at our window material here. Let's just create a new material for that. So go up to create material. We'll just call it glass. Drag that in. And that, we're just going to make it super smooth. Super metallic. There we go. Maybe bring down the smoothness a little bit. Bring down the metallic just a little bit. There we go, and we get that nice reflection and the sun playing off the windows. Obviously you can tint it. Maybe bluish, I don't know. Alright, we got us a textured building. It's not perfect, but it's, good enough to get the job done. And if you wanted to, build out an environment, that's really the point of this tutorial series is, you don't have to build this building, you don't have to use these textures, you don't have to make that mountain over there or use these clouds. It's, you get an idea of what's going on. In the next video, which is hopefully going to be a much quicker one, I'm just going to go over a couple tips and tricks to refine this, expand out the terrain a little bit, maybe do some light atmospheric stuff, and just place these things around a little bit to get a pretty scene. Also might go over some basic like cinematic camera movement stuff for people that just really aren't familiar with the Unity animation system. Either way, if this was helpful, please take the time to like, share, and subscribe. Like 94% of the people who view these videos aren't subscribed. It would help me out a lot if you could subscribe, and maybe it would help you out too. If, I throw out something that's useful to you, it'll be right there, and if it's not useful to you, you can just pass it by. It's no big deal. Either way, thanks for coming by. Stay safe, guys.